Think about the last time a high school memory came back to you. Not a big one, just a small one. A hallway, a classroom, a lunch table. A moment where you said the wrong thing or didn't say anything at all and felt the air change around you. Years ago, maybe a decade, maybe more, and yet it was right there, like it happened last week. That's not a coincidence. And it's not just nostalgia. High school leaves marks that most people spend years not knowing how to explain. The anxiety that shows up in certain situations, the need for approval that never quite went away, the feeling in certain rooms of being 15 again, exposed, not quite enough. This video is about why, and more importantly, what to do with it. Nobody tells you this when you're in it, and most people never hear it after. Between the ages of 12 and 18, your brain is being rebuilt from the inside out. The part that handles who you are, how you feel about yourself, how you read other people, it's still being wired, still unfinished, still wide open. Which means the years when you were being judged most harshly by peers, by teachers, by the brutal social architecture of an institution where everyone is trying to figure out who they are at the same time, those were the exact years your brain was most sensitive to that input. You weren't being dramatic, you weren't too sensitive. Your nervous system was doing exactly what it was supposed to do, treating social signals as survival information, because for most of human history, being excluded from the group was genuinely dangerous. The social hierarchies of high school felt life or death because to a developing brain, they registered as life or death. The embarrassment that still stings, the exclusion that still has a specific shape, the teacher who dismissed you in front of the class and left something in you that hasn't fully closed. None of that is weakness. All of it is biology. And the brain, specifically the part that was being built during all of it, filed those experiences not as isolated events, but as information about the world, about people, about you. The tricky part about what high school installs in you is that it doesn't announce itself. It doesn't feel like a scar. It feels like personality. The people-pleasing that you call being easygoing, the perfectionism that you call having high standards, the deflection with humor that you call not taking things too seriously, the hypervigilance in social situations that you call just being observant. These are not character flaws. They were adaptations, smart ones at the time. They helped you navigate an environment that was genuinely hard to navigate. The problem isn't that you built these defenses. The problem is that the environment they were built for no longer exists, and nobody told you it was safe to put them down. Some people left high school and the armor came off naturally. New environment, new people, enough safety signals that the nervous system slowly updated. Others carried it forward, not because they were weaker, because the new environments didn't feel different enough, because the patterns were too practiced, because nobody ever named what was happening inside them clearly enough for them to see it. And so, the 15-year-old who learned to shrink in certain rooms kept shrinking. The one who learned that being seen was dangerous kept hiding. The one who learned that love required performance kept performing. In a body that is now 10, 15, 20 years older, in situations that have nothing to do with high school anymore. Stay with this for a second. Two people can go through the same school, the same social dynamics, the same exclusion or humiliation or loneliness, and come out carrying completely different things. Same hallways, different damage. The difference is rarely about what happened. It's about what got decided, quietly, automatically, without any conscious awareness, about what the experience meant. One person experiences rejection at 16 and files it as, "That group wasn't right for me." Another files it as, "There's something wrong with me that makes people leave." One person fails publicly and decides, "I'll try differently next time." Another decides, "I should never put myself in that position again." Neither decision was made consciously. Both decisions have been running ever since. And here's why that matters. Because if it's the meaning that stuck, not just the event, then the meaning is something you can actually go back to. Look at it with fresh eyes, with everything you know now that you didn't know then. You were 15. You had no tools for this. The conclusion you landed on was the only one available to you in that moment. It doesn't have to be the one you carry forever. I want to say something that doesn't get said often enough. What you built in those years kept you going. The armor, the adaptations, the quiet survival strategies, they worked. You made it through something that was genuinely hard, in a body and a brain that had no real preparation for it. That's worth acknowledging, not analyzing, just acknowledging. The goal now isn't to erase what happened. You can't, and honestly, you wouldn't want to. Those years are part of how you learned to read people, to feel things deeply, to notice what others miss. That's not nothing. The goal is just to stop letting a 15-year-old's conclusions run a 30-year-old's life. And that starts small, smaller than most people expect. It starts with noticing when you feel the old pull to shrink, to perform, to make yourself easier for the room, and just pausing there. Not fighting it, not analyzing it, just seeing it for what it is, an old reflex, built for an old world in a room that no longer exists. It starts with asking, when the anxiety spikes over something small, is this actually happening right now, or is this a memory dressed up as the present? And it starts with being patient with yourself when the answer is the memory, because this doesn't change in a week. It changes in the slow accumulation of moments where you chose differently, stayed when you wanted to leave, spoke when you wanted to disappear, let yourself take up a little more space than felt comfortable. Every one of those moments is evidence your nervous system didn't have back then, that it's safe now, that you're allowed to be here, that who you are doesn't need to be earned or defended or constantly proven, that you can just be it. High school gave you a lot of things you didn't ask for, but you're still here, you're still going, and somewhere along the way, in ways you probably haven't given yourself fully credit for, you grew past what it tried to make you believe about yourself. That version of you, the one who made it through those hallways, they'd be glad it's you standing here now.
If this found the right person at the right time, share it. Subscribe to Deep Sigh.